Cancer. Hey, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We just wrapped up Cancer season, as I'm sure you well know. I hope you had a fabulous season, just felt all the love, all the blessings, and for who you are, the amazing soul that you are, just lots of celebration for you, hopefully. If not, I hope that you're giving yourself the love that you need and deserve. That's what Cancer season really brings us, is it brings us the opportunity to, really nurture and support ourselves. So as we move into Leo season, we feel stronger, confident to put ourselves or our best foot forward. Let our proverbial light shine, right? Leo loves the attention on self. It is ruled by the sun, so it is definitely that me energy, which is good. We need a little healthy dose of that right now. There's a lot going on that's changing and shifting for us, i.e. Pluto in retrograde, where places in our life, situations, relationships, dynamics that are being transformed and changed in a way that is really for our highest and best. It might not feel like that all across the board, right? Or on the forefront as we're navigating the change. We do have 4 planets in retrograde right now, which is kind of bringing a lot of those realities to the surface. They're not so easy to face. But that's also why I like to start our readings off with an energy cleansing, because it does really help cleanse out some of those places we're feeling blocked, limited, especially that Neptune in retrograde right now, which has a tendency to heighten illusion, fears, maybe some paranoia, fear of the unknown. And the energy cleansings really just kind of help cleanse some of that stuff out. It's also a great time to set your own intention for the reading, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you would like Spirit to deliver you messages around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just more interested in a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, and soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're feeling aligned in self, right, both of those tools really help us to feel grounded, supported, more aware of our mind, body, and soul, which is so necessary right now. And I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me, Cancer, is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. Sorry, I'm gonna move this. I want to make sure it doesn't fall on me as I'm doing the reading. I'm hearing for you, excuse me, Cancer, I'm hearing that it seems like something's come to light, something's come to the surface. I think that I'm hearing you kind of had a different thought process around how this thing was going to go. It feels a little bit disappointing on some level. It feels like you were hoping or expecting for a certain amount of change if you did something, if you made a specific choice, or you felt like maybe, I'm also hearing if someone kind of met you halfway, or they were going to change up their energy after this thing happened. And it really doesn't feel like you're getting that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. We do have some tension manifesting this week, and it is what we were seeing a couple months back, that when the planets, a lot of the planets were moving from Pisces into Aries. It was kind of that water and fire playing off of each other. It looks like something, I don't know, something's going to take a little bit longer than what you anticipated. And this is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe you're interpreting it as a bad thing. I feel like, or it looks like, I should say, no shade, but it looks like your ego might have taken a little bit of a hit, especially as it relates to some of the partnerships that you have been dealing with. It's kind of funny because that's what I've been hearing a lot during this cleansing. It's like you just don't want to get burned, right? I feel like some of this is residual fear from the past, what has kind of happened in your life to this point that like you just don't want to get burned again, or I don't know. Like, here's the thing. What I'm seeing is there are some changes that are on the horizon, or you're kind of picking up on. Like, you're like, I know this is going to shift. I know this is going to look different. I know this isn't going to last as long as I'm hoping it to. Or like, maybe you're just losing interest, whatever it may be. And some of this has come from this Leo energy, right? Where it's like, you're kind of like looking at something and you're like, I don't deserve this BS. Or, you're kind of just empowering yourself. You're feeling a little bit more empowered and you made some choices off of that. But now that you have, it's highlighting your relationships. And it kind of looks like something happened or something has been brought to light that it's just not moving as quickly as you had wanted them. Whether this is a person or a dynamic, they're just not moving as quickly as it had hoped, or as you had hoped. And it looks like you're bearing the brunt of this burden. And again, it felt like walking into your reading, you were kind of assuming that this was done and over with. Because maybe once upon a time, there was some balance, or you thought you had balance with someone, something. And I feel like what it's actually highlighting is not so much. And not only that, but like this person situation that you're dealing with, it kind of looks like they're willing to play with fire. Whether that's like lying to you or just being really stubborn in what they think and what they feel. I don't know, like there is this immature energy. They're operating out of an immature energy, especially how they're dealing with you. And you're kind of like, no, I actually just like want things to get better, or I thought we were headed in this direction. And then in fact, like they're not really operating out of that. Whatever the agreement was, it looks like there is now a disconnect that has to be addressed. And again, this is something that like, I don't feel like it's new. I think you kind of hoped that it would look a little bit different. There kind of is this energy of, well, especially with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, it's this hope that if we do X, Y, and Z, it's going to deliver us certain results. But what that Saturn and Neptune is showing us is that actually, no, it's like listening to like what your gut instincts are telling you. Where did we go about this? Like, instead of holding on to things, instead of like, this person's situation looks like they've done this, right? Or this is kind of how they are. And it's like something you're fed up with at this point, because it's to the detriment of not only you, but your stability and like what you have going on around you. And like I said, it feels like someone's playing games. That's what I'm getting. They're playing games, and they're playing games in a way that feels a little disrespectful. Like not honoring, not respecting. Obviously that's what disrespect is, but it's like someone who's not putting value in the relationship, in the dynamic, making it more difficult than what it needs to be. And as a result, you're not interested, right? Like you're just not interested in playing these games anymore. It's whatever has kind of been brought to the surface in this relationship, or maybe this is multiple relationships. Maybe you're being challenged on a lot of different fronts. Yeah, it's totally highlighting where change needs to be happened. And unfortunately, a lot of times when we resist the change, it ends up being forced upon us, right? Where these tower moments happen that they feel a little messier than maybe like what we want them to. Because it does look like something was held onto too tight for too long, and probably even you knew this, right? Yeah, you had your intuition. I mean, here's the thing, like, I'm not saying this, don't harp on yourself, because you know things are moving forward, and you know that like this change is actually going to benefit you in the long run. Like, you're very much in this space of like, you know, as much as someone else is not afraid to rebel against you, so are you not afraid to rebel against them, because you're seeing them as playing with fire. Like, either they're not letting sleeping dogs lie, or they're creating unnecessary problems, unnecessary drama. Been there, done that. The waxing gibbous is a phase of releasing and letting go. It's actually when we are getting ready for the new moon. New moons set intention. We have a new moon in Leo this week. And with that Leo energy, it helps us, going back to what we were talking about before, Cancer, it really helps you empower yourself, right? Like, it helps you like make choices that like, this is actually what I deserve. I'm not going to do this BS anymore. I'm not going to play these childish games. And this has been coming out a lot. Yeah, you are what you think, and magnetism through gratitude. So what we think we deserve, how we allow people to treat us, the situations that they put us in. And it's not easy. It's not easy to look at that stuff. And that's why magnetism through gratitude can be really difficult, because this gratitude is like, thank God it didn't go too long. That's kind of how it feels, right? It could have been worse, right? And I know that's not always the most heartwarming or heart-affirming thing, because you still had to go through some stuff in order to get here. But now that you are here, now that you feel stronger, empowered within yourself, you have the tools to actually manifest what you want. And I'm hearing like, whenever you chose this, committed to this, whatever, you just like were a little bit lost, or maybe you weren't very clear on exactly what you wanted and how you wanted it to look. And it looks like whatever has happened has kind of helped you see that and understand that a little bit more. And so you can't necessarily you don't want to turn a blind eye. I mean, that's kind of what you're saying this week. As much as maybe you have been resistant to some change, for you have other plans in mind, and it looks like you have someone else who's helping you move forward. Six of Swords is peaceful transitions, right? It's kind of being able to move on to calmer waters is essentially what it's all about. And so that's kind of where releasing expectations of what things or people should look like, what they should be doing, helps a lot to let go. Recognizing, that you are a master manifester, right? Like, you have the strength, you have the ability, and so much so that I feel like you need to see this within yourself. You're not trusting yourself enough, Cancer, and you are water energy. Like, if anything, you are one of the most intuitive signs in the bunch. So it looks like, I kept hearing, like, as our candles are burning out, attract through the glow. This is about like connecting with people who are really vibing with you, and not necessarily people who are trying to get something from you or out of you or take something from you, etc. Right? Like, this is, and maybe some of this is because it has been hard to open yourself up a little bit more because of the burns that you've had in the past. Also, part of the reason why you've chosen what you've chosen to date. It's not good, bad, right, or wrong. You made the most diplomatic situation or choices given the situations that you're dealing with. But it is time to change, and those changes, or what needs changing specifically, is going to be highlighted until we look at it and change it, right? And it's not fun to right now. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it's easy. If anything, it's like a little bit humbling, and like we don't want to do the work. But when we do, it actually is like way better. And getting over this hump, this hurdle, when you're on the other side, again, it's that thank God I made the decision when I did. So I hope this helps, Cancer. Godspeed to whatever you're navigating through this week. Thank you so much for your time, energy always. I super appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the reading, found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.